Hey guys, welcome back to the video, and welcome back to the video on Juarez Gunslinger. Now last time, if I'm not mistaken, we went and fought against John Wesley Hardin. I don't quite remember what comes next. I want to say it's Butch Cassidy's son, it's Kid, or Jesse James.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Grey Wolf.
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Then it was renegades and said this was wolves. That's cool. South Greaves pursued dangerous outlaws, and I didn't read all that.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven.
Yeah, long time ago.
Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
They're dropping down from the trees or something. Go to bird. We're gonna go this way. Probably nugget of truth down here. I don't think this is the way I usually go. Oh god. I walked off the ledge. We're gonna try that again. There's no reason not to try it. I thought nugget was a branch. Oh, so you can't go that way. Kill the bird. From the birds.
They saw me before I saw them.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Get a rifle. Worth a shot.
They saw me before I saw them.
Wait, somebody just sitting here. Reload. sidestep to death.
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
The Russians come out. Between the Rangers. Now, there's a nugget of truth in here. The Rangers are extra power, but the trade-off is... oh. Nugget. There it is. Native Americans. Native Americans are the indigenous people of North America. They are composed of numerous distinct Native American tribes, some of which survive to this day as cultural and political entities. According to the accepted history, migrations of the humans from Eurasia to the Americas took place approximately 12,000 years ago via the Bering Land Bridge. Many of these tribes were decimated during the 18th and 19th century as they were pushed out of their homelands by waves of settlers of European origin. As Native Americans were divided into many tribes, some of which were long-standing enemies, they were unable to unite against a common enemy, invaders armed with advanced technology. L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wizard of Oz, was among the champions of the complete eradication of the remaining Native Americans. He wrote, "The whites, by law of conquest and by just civilization, are the masses of the American continent, and the best safety of the frontier settlements will be secured in the total annihilation of the few remaining Indians." Mere days after the Wounded Knee Massacre, called a battle at the time despite being nothing more than a bloodbath inflicted by American soldiers on unarmed men, women, and children, L. Frank Baum spoke once again, criticizing the government for not taking more drastic measures, demanding to, quote, "wipe these untamed and untamable creatures from the face of the earth." Just like the ancient Celts conquered by Romans, Native Americans left an invaluable and rich legacy evident in the language, philosophy, and popular culture of the modern-day American. Thank you.
It was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of
being
those.
worried that one's going to try to rush me. Rush me would be not too deep.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Oh my god! I jumped scared myself with a body I already killed. There. That horrified me.
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
I'll find a way around.
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit. They had torches on the wall.
Oh. I see a nugget. Grey Wolf. As it happens, history does not know any great Indian leaders bearing the name Grey Wolf. There was one chief with that name, but he was also an officer in the United States Army. George Crook made his name serving during the Civil War and the Indian Wars. He fought against the Paiute, the Paiute, the Sioux, and the Apaches, led by Geronimo. The latter, as a token of respect for Crook, nicknamed him Natan Lupin, which means Grey Wolf. Crook was outraged at the imprisonment of the Chiricahua Apaches, who served the American Army faithfully, only to be incarcerated alongside Geronimo's rebels. Crook made numerous appeals to Washington, but, as was to be expected from the U.S. government at the time, they had no effect. That's neat. And level up. We are going to level up the revolvers again.
How big was this cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
He jumped.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Ray McCall. Both the McCall brothers, he and his brothers were sons of a Georgia landowner who fought for the Confederacy in the Civil War. His father died at Antietam, and he and his brothers continued to fight. During the Battle of Atlanta, he was demoted for insubordination. After the war, he made a name for himself as a gunfighter, famous for his ferocity and the antique conquistador cuirass he wore as a breastplate. He killed many men to make that reputation, and is most well known for his feud with the infamous Juarez Mendoza. Mendoza had an alcazar outside of Juarez, Mexico, and ran an army of bandits that terrorized the border for years. After years of working as a hired gun, drifting from town to town, Ray McCall found his calling and became a pastor, leaving his violent life behind. However, his destiny was not to be one of peace, as he picked up his pistols again late in life to hunt down his nephew, suspected of killing his brother and his wife. He died in 1884, killed by the same Juarez Mendoza with whom he'd crossed paths years before. His only consolation was the knowledge that Mendoza would surely follow him to the gates of hell. Surprisingly, the history books are silent on the subject of this extraordinary man, the gunslinging preacher, Ray McCall. Was it Ray? Cool. What are we at? Thomas McCall. If I ever go back to doing my how to dress videos, I'm gonna do
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. A soul would have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me though,
definitely snakes.
and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kinda like a miracle.
Level up again. Let him.
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens?
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady. I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounded.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
reload.
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
And we'll level up you.
I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed. I certainly did. I like these sorts of missions where it gets more into, like, you know, Ray just being an unreliable narrator a little bit. Not Ray, dang it. Silas being an unreliable narrator. And the story's like slowly becoming more and more fantastical as they go on. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. I certainly did. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And, well, have a good one. Adios.